I'm Queen Natasha of the Indonesia channel in Jakarta, and this is your TIC News Break on the hour, every hour. Here's what's happening in Indonesia.
Indonesia Parliament approved a government request to boost energy subsidies by about $23.8 billion to be able to keep some energy prices unchanged amid a global surge in inflation. Additional energy subsidies worth 74.9 trillion rupiah or $5.09 billion were approved, along with an additional compensation of 275 trillion rupiah for state energy firm Pertamina and utility PLN. Despite the top-up, Finance Minister Sri Mulyani Indrawati said the government is considering raising electricity tariffs for some household consumers with larger power capacity. The changes assume Indonesian crude oil price at an average $100 a barrel this year, compared to the original assumption of $63 a barrel. The government has seen a windfall in revenue thanks to high commodity prices, and the budget revisions will bring the fiscal deficit forecast to 4.5% of GDP from the previous prediction of 4%. Indonesia will host a series of meetings for the 7th session of the Global Platform for Disaster Risk Reduction, which will be held in Bali on May 23rd until the 28th. The event will be hosted by the government and convened by the United Nations Office for Disaster Risk Reductions, UNDRR. This year's session will take place at a very important time, namely 7 years since the adoption of the Sendai Framework and more than 2 years since the beginning of the COVID-19 pandemic. This year's GPDRR will provide a good and timely opportunity to demonstrate the importance of international solidarity and cooperation, as well as to discuss ways to address risk triggers that can cause disasters both locally and globally. GPDRR is the premier global forum for discussing the Sendai Framework for Disaster Risk Reduction, also known as the Sendai Framework 2015 to 2030. The framework, which has been ratified by 187 countries, aims to serve as a global reference for reducing disaster risks around the world in future.
In the financial markets, here's how stocks and the currency closed in Jakarta and around the region. If you're heading to Indonesia or traveling within the country, here's the weather forecast for major destinations. And that's what's happening in Indonesia. I'm Queen Natasha with your TIC News Break.